What's up, YouTube? Corey here. We are back out in the shop today. Today we've got an exciting day. We are finally ready for paint on the 64 Impala. So this whole week, what I'll be doing is, this will be probably one video. I'll try to crunch it all together and maybe probably put it out next week. But for now, the plan is to get it painted this week. So we've got everything already, if you've been watching my videos, we've already basically rebuilt every piece on it. The fender's all new. The doors have all been worked, all new quarters, everything's done. It's everything's been blocked, primed about a million times, because that's how it goes when you want it perfectly straight. So now we're ready for basically sealer and paint. So that's what we're going to be doing this week. I like to break it up. It's just going to be me this week, so I'll break it all up and paint it basically in pieces. Paint a couple things at a time, and then move them out and move right on to the next piece. So hopefully have it done completely and ready to put back together by about next Monday maybe. So anyway, let's go take a look at a few things we've worked on. It's been a few weeks since I put out a video. Been really busy around here, just working on my stuff, trying to get the Mustang done and ready to go to the tuner. And been working on the rest of the shop. We added on an addition, poured concrete the last few weeks. So we've been super busy around here, just adding on and making things a little bigger. But also we have been working on the Impala. I just haven't been videoing it. So we are actually been working on it a lot. Been working a lot of late nights, a lot of long hours on it to get it ready for paint. So, but here we are. So let's quit yapping. Let's go take a look at a few things that we've done. We cut on the fenders a little bit to make them fit, get our gaps right and stuff, little tips and tricks that I've picked up. Yeah, let's go take a look at it real quick and see what we're getting into. All right, guys. As you can see, the body's pretty much done. All of our gaps are done. Everything's been flushed. It's ready for sealer and paint. So I will pull it apart, pull the door off, pull the hinges off, paint all them, paint the doors. I like to piece paint. I'll paint the body, then I'll put the doors back on, put the fenders on, all that stuff. So it's just how I like to do it. I get the perfect coverage, and I feel the best about it. Everything's perfectly 100% sprayed. I don't miss anything. I don't get overspray in any bad areas. And it don't look rough up in here when it's all done. Sometimes you go to car shows and you see, this stuff will be all rough and oversprayed, and that's the way to avoid it. Just pull it apart, do it right. So that's what we're doing. On the fenders, I kind of showed you guys a little bit on the patch panels and stuff, how to make patch panels on the fenders and stuff, but I didn't really go into the fitment because we did put all this together. The fenders have been put on the car, and all this stuff's been aligned, and all the gaps have been set perfect. We didn't really show you the gaps on, from the fender to the front of the door. I just showed you guys the other side, but the only thing we really had to do here to alter it from the stock, gap, was down at the bottom where the rocker is. I had to kind of cut it here. If you can see on both sides, it was almost an identical job. Cut it, and then we rolled this in just a little bit and then welded it back, and then now just body worked it and primed it and all that stuff. And so now the same exact thing on the other one. The other one, probably maybe just a little bit more, but maybe not. I don't know. You can kind of see it there too. Exact same thing. So now what'll happen is when we put this on, the rocker will sit right here, and that'll push this fender back, this gap here back just a little bit, which is what we needed to get that perfect gap all the way around. So just little tips and tricks I've picked up along the way of things you can do. I mean, if you're fighting gaps, you know, you can't really add body filler to the side of your, you know, your door or the side of your fender if it doesn't fit. So how do you make it fit? Well, this is how. Just do a little cut and tuck, and you know, that basically just gives you a little bit more of adjustment to, you know, for what you need. So all this stuff's done. It's already been blocked 100 million times. It's you guys can see a few little low spots here and there afterwards that we had to touch up, but it's ready now. So that's what we're gonna be doing, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and set up, start cleaning, masking. Probably put you guys on a tripod and do a lot of time lapse in this one as much as I can, because I'm gonna try to, you know, blaze through this as quick as I can this week. So but I don't want you guys to miss out on this. This is an exciting part. This is paint, you know. This is we've come a long way. There's been a lot of parts to this series. This has been a big, huge job that completely come off the frame, and you know, this is paint. We're ready. So you guys, I'm sure, are just as excited as me to see how slick this thing's gonna lay out. See if I made any boo-boos. It happens from time to time, but enough yapping. I'm gonna set you guys up and get started. All right, guys, sealer and base is on the back side of everything. Right now, all I'm doing is etching everything out, just doing the backs of everything, the things that you cannot get when the car is put together, or you know, basically when I flip this up, I'll be doing the front, everything you'll see. So I'll do everything on the back, get it all out of the way, knocked out, painted, cleared, and then tomorrow we'll come in, flip these up, and then focus on the top side, the important side. Not that this stuff's not important, but the other side's what you see, and you know, what everybody sees and what has to look perfect. So knock this little easy piddly stuff out of the way, and we'll do the same thing tomorrow. After we get done doing the top side of those, then we'll come back and do the bottom side of these, do the etching, do all the, you know, the back side, the underside, all the under, get that painted, cleared, then the same exact process. Next day, flip it over, do the tops. That ensures that, you know, I'm not trying to do them both at once or rush or, you know, have it hoisted. I like to lay my panels out exactly how they're going to be on the car, so that way my paint lays exactly how it's going to lay when I lay it on the car. So if the fender's going to be setting up, basically I'll have it setting up like this when I paint it. That way it'll be the exact same orientation as the car, so there's no way that my flake's going to lay different and look different, since I'm piece painting this. If it was all together and you were painting it as one, you really wouldn't have to worry about that. But just some little tips and tricks I've picked up along the way, and you know, it's how I get it right and make sure my flake and everything looks like my colors look right. So enough rambling. I'm gonna get back and get some clear on this, and we'll see you guys probably in the morning. All right, next morning, everything is dry. I went ahead and sanded everything, all the overspray off. From the outside, you know, we want this stuff to look cherry, so we flushed it on off the rest of the way. And then the insides, I went ahead and Scotch-Brighted them, so they'll be ready for, you know, basically we'll seal all this again, you know, seal all this bad stuff, and then go right on over top of it with our blue and our clear, and we'll just basically re-clear all this stuff. So that'll all fit, blend, look good. No problems with, you know, it'll look just as good on the inside here as it will on the outside. So, and that's what we're going for. Yeah, it don't really matter, it's under the hood, blah blah blah, whatever, but I want this to be just as shiny and nice as this. So same thing back here. Seam sealed, clean, resanded all this, you know, seam sealer, got it all nice, so it's seam sealed just like factory. It's all been sanded, clean, prepped, tack clothed. Same thing over here. So like I said, guys, I want these bottoms to look just as good as the top, so I'm gonna try to slick them out, slick that stuff out, and then we'll move on. Tomorrow fenders will be done. Next day come back in, well, tomorrow while the fenders are done, this stuff will be done, so we'll be able to flip it, spray the tops. So I'll go ahead and get to spraying, and we'll be back here in a few. All right, guys, got the clear on. So far so good. Few little pieces of trash here and there, no big deal. It's on the flats, so I'll be able to polish them. Yeah, I'll go ahead and polish the bottom of this. I'll just take my time and go easy. You know, I want it to, like I said, I want it to look as good as the top. So, top of the hood turned out, or bottom of the hood turned out really nice. I hope the top turns out as good as that bottom. But fenders though, check these out. It's got a little dark on us outside, so we lost our light, but there for a little bit, man, you could really see the reflection out there. Turned out pretty slick. Pretty happy with that. Of course, like I said, everything gets sanded and buffed here. No matter what, I always sand and buff. I just always have a little bit of trash in my stuff. I don't have a actual booth, so it just happens. Everything's got to be sanded and buffed. That's the way I was taught anyway, was sand and buff everything. Cut and buff, some people call it, you know, different things. Paint correcting. Everything gets sanded and buffed before it leaves. This fender pretty good too. A little bit peely here on this side, but it gets a lot better up here. But no big deal. Turned out pretty sweet. I will not sand and buff anything, okay, until we get it all put back together and it's done. So for now, this will, you know, finish drying out. It's been sitting here for quite a while. It's almost dry, but yeah. Tomorrow, probably come in, flip this over, go ahead and spray the tops of these, get them looking sweet, and then I can wrap these pieces up and put them away for a while, and we'll work on this. Hope you guys are learning something. If you got any questions or comments, drop them down below. I'm just here to show what I do, and you know, kind of how I do it and the process I take, and hopefully you guys can take something from it. You know, thanks for watching. All right, it's the next morning. Everything's dry. 3 coats. 3 coats of color, 3 coats of clear. These things turned out slick. Couple little pieces of trash, but no big deal. This thing turned out pretty slick looking. Looking good, looking good. These things will be, you know, they're pretty much dry. We'll move them around here in a little bit and then move on. Man, that thing turned out nice. Love it. Looks slick. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. We doing a good job on this one? A little bit of trash here and there. That's normal. We'll sand and buff her after we get her together. Next is on to this. We're gonna go ahead and start spraying it. Get her ready. So here we go. All right, we went ahead and pulled off the doors real quick. That was nice and easy. Not really, but whatever. We made do. got them hanging. I think I've mentioned before, you want, when you're spraying, when you're piece painting, make sure that you have your pieces oriented how they're going to be on the vehicle, especially if you're using metallics. Solid colors is not that imperative, but metallics, your metallics will lay down different. And so if you lay your door flat, you try to spray it, no, it's going to look terrible. But anyway, you see these are things already for cleaner and sealer. So we'll get the wax and grease remover out, spray them down, get a coat of sealer on them, and start spraying color. We'll go ahead and just spray the doors today. That'll finish out the day. That's pretty much going to take the rest of the day, and then tomorrow we will be back in to spray this. So, well, we got a few little things to fix. I had to move the lower mounts down here. You can see I had to do a little grinding on them, but I had to do that on both sides and move them, and then so I'll have to re-prime those areas. But that was to move the fenders in just a little bit to make them, make that gap and panel alignment perfect. But all right, here we go. All right, last coat of clear is on. 3 coats, 3 coats of clear, or 3 coats, 1 coat of sealer, 3 coats of paint, 3 coats of clear. Looks pretty dang good, guys. Slight peely, that's okay. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I sand and buff everything. I don't like to sand out runs, so I'd rather make it slight peely, nib it off with some 2000, hit it with the buffer. That's it for the doors. I kind of did a little fast record on that. I'll go on to the next in the morning. Like I said, it's late today. It took me a few hours to get these all sprayed. But yeah, looking good. Let me know what you guys think. Again, down in the comments. If you're learning anything, if you got any questions, drop them down below. If anything I can help you with, I always try to answer comments and answer emails from you guys. Yeah. Till tomorrow. All right, guys, next morning we've got everything set up. Everything's wetted out, floors, fans are set up. Car's ready. We're getting ready to go ahead and start blowing on our first coat of sealer. Let's check it out. It's looking good. It's ready for sealer. If you guys got any questions or comments to how we got to this point so far, drop them down below. I've been trying to keep this all together in one video. We've been dragging it out over a little bit of time, but today's the day. We've been waiting and we're ready. I'm sure all you guys are ready to get this thing painted. I know Lou is. He said he's tired of working on it. So yeah, these things, they take a long time, especially customers make changes and stuff, and it just kind of puts us back a little bit. But here we are, finally ready for the spray. So we're gonna set you guys up, do a little time lapsing on this, and our cameraman over here, Lou, will pick it up and come around and check it out as we're going so you guys can see it.
All right, guys, sealer is on. Um, just used basically the same primer that I use. It's you can mix it up, add 10% thinner or reducer, urethane reducer, and spray it as a sealer. So that's how I like to do it. Crank that pressure up and lay it on nice and slick, just like a base coat. When it's done, we take a tack cloth and run over it, make sure there's nothing on it. If you find anything, it is very important. If you find anything raised, anything above your surface, so take 500, 600, whatever, 800, and sand it. Do not leave any rough spots on your sealer. Nothing above it, okay? You can't have anything above the surface. Later on, after you lay your base and your clear and you go to sand and buff it, anything that was raised above is going to show. You'll hit it with the sandpaper and you'll have a little gray spot from your sealer. Do not forget this. A lot of people just seal, go right on into base, go right into paint, and you can in the right situations, I guess, but just make sure you check. You don't want that to happen to you. It'd be awful to have a big gray spot right here from a dirt nib in this stage. So that's where we're at with it. We are going to go ahead and set you guys back up, and we'll start laying on base coat. Can't wait for you guys to see it. All right, guys, I know this is what everybody's been wanting to see. Man, we didn't quite capture the footage of the spraying on the clear, but 32 psi on the old W400, a Nest Iwata over there. 50-50 overlap. Took my time, nice and easy, and laid this thing out slick, guys. It's beautiful. This thing is nice and straight too. I know everybody's been wanting to see, they've been dying to see it. Look at that crap. Nice and straight, beautiful lines, and quarters went on perfect. Beautiful top, slicked out, very, very little polishing. I've got to probably do the least amount of sanding and buffing and polishing on this. There's still little bitty dirt nibs and trash here and there. You'll always have that. I don't care how good you are. But this thing is freaking awesome. Oh yeah. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. It's getting close. Soon to go get the LS swap. That's where it's going next. It'll leave here for a few days, and he's pretty much ready for it. The guy that's doing our LS swap stuff for us, so it's leaving. We'll be out of here, so it'll be like a snap of some fingers. Bam. And we'll have a LS in it. We done went and picked it all up and got it all ready, and you know, got all the wiring and everything squared away for it. And so it'll be a pretty quick swap out with the small block. This kind of a last minute decision. I know I originally talked about it before, but the owner has now, you know, decided to go ahead and go on with the LS swap, so we had to make a few changes, but that's okay. It didn't set us back much. You know, here we are. It's sprayed and, you know, ready for assembly. A little bit of light polishing. I know you guys probably want to see it with the doors on and everything, but that's not going to happen in this video. I just kind of wanted to show, you know, a little bit of our paint work and how, you know, our body work, I guess. This thing is sweet. It's straight. We did a lot of work on it. Spent a lot of hours. Tons of hours out here. But it's got, when we go to put it together, it's going to have perfect gaps, perfect lines. I mean, the door, everything's already been done. So it'll be just a simple bolt it together. Bolt, you know, I mark when I take my hinges or my trunk and my hood hinges, and I disassemble everything. I mark everything with holes. It's a little tip. I don't know if a lot of you guys know that. I might have said this before, but before I pull everything off, I get, you know, I line everything up, and then before I pull it, I drill an 1/8 inch hole here and get a, you know, I got like 1/8 inch tabs that go in there, or a rivet or a nail, anything you got, and those will work as alignment pins, so you can get your hood and your, you know, trunk lid exactly where they need to be. There's no mistaking it that way. No banging, you know, fresh paint on fresh paint because you didn't get your gaps right. But the doors, you can't really do that. They're so thick and stuff in here. I mean, it takes forever to drill through, but I think doors are pretty easy as long as you got 2 or 3 guys to help you, you know, line it out. But you know, hold it up and bolt it on. They're not too bad. Or a door holder, door rack. But anyhow, enough rambling. This video is probably pretty long, but hey, let me know what you guys think. Tomorrow we'll unmask, and be time to start laying in, you know, kill mat and getting the back done, finished up, all seam sealed and, you know, coated in the rear trunk area. Yeah, so take us a few more days, but my next video on this, you guys will see, hopefully, we'll have an LS. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends.